Hey guys, instead of addressing a quick issue that I've had a few people present to me, um, instead of writing it out, I figured I would just put it down in a video because it seems like in this day and age, people pay attention to a video quicker than they would uh, than reading out text on our website. So, over the past few years, doing Syphus training, a lot of people have asked about core training, why we do or do not do things like crunches or planks or stuff like that within our actual Syphus training workouts, and that's a little bit more of a complex question to answer than one might think. So, I would say first and foremost, you need to know what core training is. Core does not necessarily mean that you're just doing abdominal exercises like crunches or sit-ups or leg lifts or what have you. Having said that, Syphus training hits your core so often. I would say that 80 to 85% of the exercises that you're doing, you should be involving your core. Just off the top of my head, things like gorgons and peg legs and squat thrust and inchworms, arachnids, I mean, name it. You go down the list, we're using your core, you should be using your core in a lot of those exercises. In fact, Angie, one of our instructors the other day, was saying just how certain exercises that if you really think about it, you should be engaging your core in just about every single exercise that you're doing. And if you do that, you'll get a lot more out of it. And that's the main reason why we say no knees on the floor on inchworms, because if you are going to your knees on an inchworm, that means you're neglecting the whole plank portion of that movement. You need to crawl out using your midsection, using your core to get out into a full extension, and then you use your hips to pull the plate in. But again, in Syphus training, you are using your core a lot. So I want to make sure that I address that issue first. Secondly, I think some people have a misconception as to what core training is. Core training is not just abdominal exercises. It's not just crunches. It's not just leg lifts or bicycles or whatever it is, planks. The core is also, your glutes, your lower back, your hips. It's more than just abdominal exercises. So if that's what you're looking for, then CardioCore, which is also a type of workout that we do in Syphus training, is probably the best option for you. So if you don't know what CardioCore is, it's always an option on a sideboard that we have inside of all of our gyms. And you just tell the instructor that you want to do CardioCore for that day. And what that workout is just Syphus training without any of the crawling, without any of the strength-bearing exercises, without any pushes or anything like that. And then it's just the cardio stuff that we do and abdominal exercises. And they're all just thrown into our regular Syphus training circuits. So it's essentially Syphus training without using a plate and focusing strictly on your abdominal exercises. So that's always a great option to do. It's also something else that you can do in place of Syphus training if, let's say, you want an off day. It's not by no means easy, but it's also a very good option to do if you're looking for something to kind of supplement your Syphus training routines. And then also, I mean, if we're talking about core training and whatnot, I think I should also address the issue that I guess if what you're looking for in core training per se is to lose visceral fat or to expose a better midsection, then I would suggest sticking with Syphus training and do it more consistently, because focusing strictly on just abdominal exercises is not going to get you that midsection that you're looking for any quicker. So I mean, obviously you got to pay attention to your diet. You gotta be as consistent as diligent as you can in both your exercise and your eating habits, and then only then will you see the improvements that you want. So again, I felt compelled to come here and explain exactly what we mean by core training and why we do or do not use it in Syphus training. Actually, I guess I do have one more point. The reason why we don't do let's say crunches in Syphus training is because that it's a competitive sport-like workout, and you can see it in things like push-ups and mantis and stuff like that. People will generally rush through an exercise that should not be rushed through in trying to score a higher score. And so what we've done is we've completely taken out all of our crunch type movements and abdominal exercises for the sake of doing the exercises the right way, which is why we've kind of reserved those for CardioCore, because I can only imagine what some crunches and butterflies and toe touches and things like that would look like if people were trying to do them faster in order to get a higher score. So again, we want people to do things the right way. We want them to be safe when they're doing them and get the most out of it. So if you're really looking to core train or strengthen your abdominal muscles, then CardioCore is probably the way to go. But you should also know that when you're doing Syphus training, you are definitely training your core every single time you hit the turf. Thanks.